Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about the kit reveals for Darth Sion and Visas Marr. Darth Sion is very important and is going to be very relevant going forward in this game. In fact, he is quite amazing. Before I explain why he's going to be so good, I do want to explain a couple things that's going on in the footage up here. Is that Sith Trooper has a small rework. He will be getting a taunt at the beginning of his turn, like the auto taunt at the beginning of the battle, which makes him absolutely amazing. And then the three members of the Triumvirate, Sion, Traya, and Nihilus, each independently will get buffs based on the other two heroes being in the team. So in the footage that you're looking at, there was a bonus buff given to Darth Nihilus, which has not been dialed in and tweaked, so I'm not able to announce what that buff is going to be. So in addition to Sion making this nightmare team up here very amazing, which is Palpatine, Vader, Nihilus, Sion, and Sith Trooper, they all work together, and it is very, very, very good. This team works best with Sith Trooper. It does not work as well with General Kenobi, and Jedi Training Rey has a very hard time beating this team. Now, the bad news is that both of these new characters that are coming out are marquee characters, and then Traya is going to be the raid reward for the new Sith raid that is up and coming. So, Sion is going to be good right out of the gate, and then he's going to get better when people unlock Traya from getting her as the raid rewards. Now, two things that I'm going to focus my videos on when I get him in the test account is, how do you beat this team if you don't want to buy him? Are you going to be able to beat this team? How are you going to beat this team? There were some Rex teams that kind of worked. And then the second thing I'm going to be trying to find out, is he viable at 3, 4, 5 stars like Nihilus was a year ago? His taunt is intermittent, and that is why it is very hard to kill him. And then he also has this Doomsday Hatred mechanic. It's called Hatred, which goes off later in the battle. It has a 15-turn cooldown, but there's ways of lowering that cooldown. And when that goes off, he becomes a pure bruiser. It is like a ticking time bomb, similar to Nihilus's Annihilate. Plus, he has a mass dispel like B2 and Baze, which is quite frankly always amazing. So, first things first, his basic attack is called Dark Rage. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict pain for 3 turns. If the target already had pain, dispel all debuffs on Sion. So he has a way of self-cleansing himself. Pain, this unit takes bonus damage from Darth Sion. So this is like Shock. It kind of reminds me of Shock a little bit. You can cleanse it. You can get rid of it. It doesn't stack. There's just only one of them. Torment is his monster ability right here, which dispels all the negative status effects on the other team. Look at that. All the tenacity up is just disappearing on the other team. Deal physical damage to all enemies and then dispel all buffs on them. Then inflict pain on all enemies for 3 turns. Then reduce the cooldown on this ability by 1 for each enemy without pain. This attack can't be evaded. And we're going to talk about the pain mechanic in a moment, because that is the mechanic that makes him very difficult to kill and very difficult to get to. And he's going to be a high target priority, because if his hatred mechanic goes off, it's not good at all. Break Will. Deal physical damage and inflict pain on target enemy for 3 turns. This attack can't be evaded. If the target already had pain, this attack deals 100% more damage, and Sion recovers 35% protection. Held by Hatred. All right, this is not a fun thing at all. This is something that can't be dispelled. It's got the little lock arrow on it. He gets 100% turn meter, and he gets a revive, and he gets a lot more damage, and he has very high tenacity. Sign dispels all debuffs on him. It kind of reminds me of Call to Action on Luke Skywalker. Covers 100% health and gains 100% turn meter. Sign gains Hatred until he's defeated, which can't be dispelled or prevented. This ability starts on cooldown. When Sion inflicts pain, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. So every time that there's pain going on a character, it's lowering this 15-turn cooldown. Plus, there's some synergies with Traya and Nihilus, which we're going to go over in a second. Hatred mechanic is this: 25% critical chance, 100% defense, 100% offense. He goes Super Saiyan. When this unit is revived, they revive with 100% health and gain 100% turn meter. Now, that Hatred ability while he has it, is also going down. So, like, here's an example of a match which Warrior recorded of, like, CLS versus Sion, and I think it just times out. It's got the high counter there because it's a developer account, but he just immediately dies, and then he goes back into it because the ability was on cooldown. It's kind of crazy. You don't want this to go off because he becomes Super Saiyan and does bonus damage. Now, this is the most interesting thing to me because of the way that his taunt mechanic works. Sion has 100% defense and 100% tenacity against enemies with pain. So pain is being inflicted on the other side, and this is why I think Rex is going to become important, or maybe possibly one of the only ways to beat this guy. At the start of each enemy's turns, if they have pain, Sion gains taunt for that turn. So basically, if you have pain on you, he's going to be taunting for that turn. So that becomes tricky when he's paired up with Sith Trooper, because Sith Trooper is a beast when he has defense up. At the end of each turn, Sion inflicts pain for 3 turns on enemies who damaged him that turn. When an ally, Darth Traya or Nihilus, are critically hit, reduce held by hatred's cooldown by 1. Oh boy, so this is kind of like a turtle mechanic, and it is frustrating because you've got Sith Trooper taunting, and the only time that he's taunting is when he has pain. So that taunt is going on and off, and you can't really focus on him until you get rid of the taunt on Sith Trooper. Now, Sith Trooper's ability keeps coming back every time a Sith uses a special ability. It just keeps coming back and coming back. So it's almost like you have to fracture both of them. In the meantime, you have to worry about Nihilus and Palpatine and Darth Vader, which are all very good characters. And that's why I call this the Nightmare Team. Now, Jedi Training Rey has a really hard time against this team. So like I said earlier in the video, you know, when I get this in my test account, the 2 things that I'm going to be focusing on is he viable at lower star levels, and 2, how do you beat this team if you don't want to buy it? Because like Night Sisters, they're very strong, but there's ways around them. These guys destroy Night Sisters. These guys destroy Jedi Training Rey. They destroy CLS. Basically, on offense, on every team we played, they won all the time. And then when the other team attacked back, they really struggled. We had to find these weird teams with like Rex and Wampa and the new Visa Marr character. Anyways, I think it's going to be a fun character. I really like the mechanic. I'm excited about it. I think it's kind of like a turtle mechanic. You probably want to like boost him full of health and protection so that when he goes off and goes Super Saiyan, then he's just going to do tons of damage. And plus then you're going to have to kill him twice. Oh, he's good. Promise you that he's going to be relevant for a long time, because when Traya comes out, the team is going to get worse and stronger and better. I don't see them making a Raid character bad. Both Raid Han are very good, and General Kenobi is very good. You can guarantee that Traya is going to be good as well. Let's look at Visas Marr. Now, I don't know how viable she's going to be in the arena. I didn't really get anything going with her. I tried some General Kenobi teams and everything like that. It seems fine. I suspect that she is going to be outright amazing in the new Sith Raid, and that is the purpose. She is interesting, and I do like the revive mechanic. She kind of reminds me of like an Ewok Elder, old Daka character. She's a light side healer. Telekinetic blast, deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all debuffs on Visas and another random debuffed ally. If the target is Sith, Visa Marr and her lowest health ally also recovers 25% max health. If any debuffs were dispelled, reduce the cooldowns of Dark Healing by 1. Now, this seems pretty useful. Not so bad right here. Dark Healing, like this heals and also can revive a character. Deal physical damage to all enemies. All allies gain health steal up for 1 turn and recover health equal to 35% of Visa Marr's max health. If Visa Marr is at full health after using this ability, revive a random defeated ally at 50% health. Special 2 Piercing Strike. Deal physical damage to target enemy and grant all allies defense penetration up for 2 turns. This attack ignores protection. Now, so this is a brand new mechanic where she can give other heroes the ability to bypass protection and go right for their health. Now, I was thinking that might be useful with Night Sisters, right? Because the plague mechanic is getting rid of your health and ignoring protection. She could give this to everybody and they could just target your health pool directly. Her unique right here, which makes her very, very, very useful against Sith. She's kind of an anti-Sith character. While Visas Marr has no debuff, she has 100% counter chance and a 60% chance to assist when another ally attacks Sith enemies. So she can do an assist. I didn't see high damage from these numbers. It kind of reminded me of like Garsax and Imperial Commando type thing when counterattacks, but just didn't do a lot of damage. Because she's doing this assist and it seems useful. I suspect that she's going to be very good in the raid, and maybe there's an unknown team. I wasn't able to discover a team that was amazing in the arena with her. I played around with her a little bit, but I gotta say I was absolutely taken back by Darth Sion on how well he worked with Sith Trooper, and he did not work well with General Kenobi. He worked best with Sith Trooper. And plus, he was getting some synergy with Nihilus, and Nihilus was getting some synergy with him, which they haven't revealed, or they're going to be revealing in the future. Darth Vader was a beast. He was so fast because it's a team running of all Sith and or Empire. And then Palpatine, under leadership, seemed to be the best team. So, I'm not really thrilled that this character is marquee. I've never bought a marquee character. I suspect that he's going to get better when Traya is ready and everybody can get Traya from the raid once we figure out the raid and we get the videos on the raid and all that good stuff. But I'm hoping that he's like Nihilus and he can still be playable at 3 and 4 stars. We will see. Like I said, stay tuned, come back. The two things that I'm going to try to find out in future videos is how to beat this team, because frankly, in the 2-3 hours we got to play with it, it was pretty intimidating. It was pretty hard to beat. And secondly, is this guy going to be playable at lower star levels or not? All right, stay tuned. More videos to come. If you have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. I also opened up a Discord server, and boy, we had 400 or 500 people pop in a couple of days. Quite amazing. And I'm doing that because I'm approaching 100,000 subs, and I guess Discord does something special for you. Makes you a Discord partner or something. So I don't know what that is exactly, but that's the reason why I opened up this Discord. And as always, thank you for watching and keep on gaming.